They say family always comes first, but sometimes family is the first to abandon you. I'm Margaret, born in 1952 in Chicago's South Side. Back in 2019, at 67, my own son Derek left me stranded at O'Hare Airport like forgotten luggage. I felt invisible, worthless, but then something happened that changed everything. Today at 72, sitting in my downtown penthouse, I'm finally sharing this because every woman deserves to know her worth isn't determined by ungrateful children. If you're listening, drop your city below and hit that subscribe button for more stories of triumph. The morning started like any other Tuesday. Derek had called the night before, his voice unusually cheerful. "Mom, we're all set for Maui tomorrow. Flight leaves at 10:30. I'd packed my floral sundresses, the ones I'd bought specifically for this family vacation, my first real trip with Derek, his wife Sandra, and my 2 grandchildren in over 3 years. I arrived at the airport 2 hours early, clutching my boarding pass like a lifeline to belonging. But when I reached the gate, confusion washed over me like ice water. The departure board showed our flight, but my seat assignment looked wrong. I approached the counter, my heart already sinking. "Excuse me, I think there's been a mistake with my reservation." The gate agent's fingers danced across her keyboard, her expression shifting from professional courtesy to uncomfortable sympathy. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but you're not listed on this flight. There are only 4 passengers under the reservation: Derek Thompson, Sandra Thompson, and 2 children." The words hit me like a physical blow. 4 passengers, not 5. I stood there watching other families board, their laughter echoing through the terminal while my world crumbled. I called Derek immediately, straight to voicemail. Sandra's phone voicemail. I tried texting, my fingers trembling as I typed. "Derek, I'm at the gate but not on the flight. What happened?" The message showed as delivered, then read. No response. I watched through the floor-to-ceiling windows as their plane taxied away, carrying my family toward paradise while leaving me behind in purgatory. That's when I noticed him, a father helping his elderly mother navigate through security, his arm gently supporting her elbow, his voice patient and loving. "Take your time, Mom. We're not in any rush." The contrast was devastating. Here was a son who treasured his mother, while mine had erased me from existence. I drove home in a daze, my suitcase still packed, my heart shattered. For 3 days I heard nothing. No calls, no texts, no explanations. When Derek finally contacted me, it was through a generic email with a $50 Amazon gift card attached. "Sorry for the mix-up, Mom. Hope this makes up for it. We'll catch up when we get back."
$50.
For 30 years of being his mother, for co-founding our charitable foundation together, for every sacrifice I'd made $50. But the airport incident was just the beginning. When I tried to access our foundation's website to update some donor information, I discovered something that made my blood run cold. My name was gone, completely scrubbed from the About Us page, the Board of Directors section, even the founding story. According to the website, Derek had single-handedly established the Thompson Family Foundation in 2008. My contributions, my vision, my 15 years of dedication erased with the click of a delete button. I called our office manager, Patricia, someone I'd known since the foundation's inception. Her voice was strained, uncomfortable. "Mrs. Thompson, I was told you were stepping back from active involvement. Derek said you wanted to focus on your retirement." Lies. All lies. I'd never expressed any desire to step back. If anything, the foundation was my life's work, my legacy. That evening I walked through my house and something felt different. Wrong. It took me 20 minutes to realize what was missing: my wedding photo from the mantelpiece. The silver-framed picture of Harold and me on our wedding day, The one that had sat in that exact spot for 43 years. I searched everywhere, growing more frantic by the minute. Finally, I found it buried in a box in my basement, wrapped in newspaper like garbage. Someone had been in my house. Someone with a key. Someone who knew exactly which memories to hide, which parts of my history to bury. The realization hit me like lightning. This wasn't random cruelty or thoughtless oversight. This was systematic erasure, calculated and deliberate. Derek wasn't just excluding me from trips. He was methodically removing me from my own life. I sat on my basement floor, holding that wedding photo, and something shifted inside me. The hurt began transforming into something harder, sharper. Determination. If Derek wanted to play games with my legacy, he'd picked the wrong woman. I'd built a multimillion-dollar foundation from nothing, survived my husband's death, and raised a son who clearly underestimated his mother's strength. That night, I made a decision that would change everything. I wasn't going to fade quietly into the background like some discarded relic. I was going to fight back, reclaim what was mine, and show Derek exactly what happens when you try to erase a woman who refuses to disappear. The next morning, I called my old colleague Edith Martinez, a sharp-minded attorney who'd helped us establish the Foundation's original legal framework. Over coffee at her downtown office, I laid out everything: the airport abandonment, the website erasure, the missing photograph. Edith's expression grew darker with each detail. "Margaret, this sounds like more than family drama. This sounds like fraud." She pulled out the original incorporation documents from 2008, papers I hadn't seen in years. Her finger traced the signatures, the legal language that established me as co-founder with equal authority. "Look here," she said, pointing to a crucial clause. "Any changes to board composition or founding member status require written consent from all original signatories. Derek can't legally remove you without your signature." My heart raced. I still had legal standing, despite Derek's digital erasure. "But there's something else we need to investigate," Edith continued, her voice dropping to a whisper. "If he's willing to forge your removal from the Foundation, what else might he be forging?" She suggested we examine my financial accounts, particularly the retirement funds I'd rolled over to Derek's management 3 years ago, when he convinced me he could get better returns through his investment firm. The Foundation's 15th anniversary gala was scheduled for the following Saturday at the Palmer House Hotel. Derek had sent me an invitation to table 47, tucked away in the back corner near the kitchen doors. The insult was deliberate, but I saw it as an opportunity. I bought a stunning black evening gown, had my silver hair professionally styled, and prepared to make a statement. Walking into that ballroom felt like entering enemy territory. Derek stood at the podium, delivering his opening remarks about his vision for the Foundation's future. He spoke eloquently about helping underprivileged children, about building legacies, about family values, all while systematically destroying his own mother. The irony was suffocating. But I wasn't there for confrontation. I was there for reconnaissance. During the cocktail hour, I mingled with board members, donors, and staff. Many seemed genuinely surprised to see me. "Margaret, we heard you'd retired," said longtime donor Mrs. Chin. "Derek mentioned you wanted to step back and enjoy your golden years." I smiled gracefully, filing away each lie for future reference. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Patricia, our office manager, approached me near the silent auction tables. She looked nervous, constantly glancing around. "Mrs. Thompson, I need to tell you something. Derek made me sign a confidentiality agreement, but what he's doing isn't right." She slipped me a flash drive. Financial records, board meeting minutes, email correspondence. Everything from the past 2 years. I copied it all before he could delete it. That night, I sat at my kitchen table reviewing the files with Edith. What we discovered was worse than erasure, it was theft. Derek had been systematically redirecting foundation funds into personal accounts. Donor contributions meant for scholarships were funding his family's lifestyle. But the most devastating discovery was a series of forged documents bearing my signature, authorizing the transfer of my retirement accounts nearly $800,000 into Derek's investment portfolio. "This is criminal fraud," Edith said, her voice tight with anger. "He's stolen from the foundation and from you personally. We need to act immediately." She contacted her colleague Nathan Rodriguez, a criminal attorney specializing in financial crimes. Within 48 hours, we had frozen all accounts and filed preliminary charges. The confrontation came sooner than expected. Derek stormed into my house the following Tuesday, his face red with rage. "What the hell do you think you're doing, Mom? You're destroying everything I've built." His entitlement was breathtaking. "Everything you've built?" I stood my ground, my voice steady despite my racing heart. "You mean everything you've stolen? From the foundation, from donors, from me?" "You're losing your mind," he snarled. "Nobody's going to believe a confused old woman over a successful businessman." But his bravado cracked when Nathan served him with legal papers right there in my living room. The color drained from Derek's face as he read the charges: embezzlement, fraud, forgery, elder abuse. The legal proceedings moved swiftly. Patricia's evidence was damning. The forged signatures were obvious under expert analysis, and Derek's financial records told a clear story of systematic theft. Within 6 months, he'd lost his investment license, faced criminal charges, and watched his reputation crumble. The foundation's board voted unanimously to restore my position and remove Derek entirely. But my greatest victory wasn't legal, it was personal. I rewrote my will, establishing a new charitable trust that would continue my work long after I'm gone. Derek's name appears nowhere in the document. Instead, my estate will fund scholarships for young women pursuing business degrees, ensuring future generations won't be erased or silenced. The final act came at Derek's country club fundraiser 6 months later. I didn't attend, but I sent a messenger with an envelope containing copies of my restored legal standing, the foundation's new leadership structure, and a simple note: "Some women refuse to disappear. Margaret Thompson, founder." I heard later that Derek left the event early, his humiliation complete. Today, I wake up in my penthouse overlooking Lake Michigan, surrounded by the photographs Derek tried to hide, leading a foundation that bears my name alongside Harold's memory. I learned that true strength isn't about revenge, it's about refusing to let others define your worth. Sometimes the people who should protect us become the ones we need protection from, but that doesn't mean we surrender our power. If this story resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of women who refuse to be erased. Share this with anyone who needs to remember their own strength, and comment below about a time you stood up for yourself. Remember, your legacy belongs to you, and nobody, not even family, has the right to steal it. Moral lesson: sometimes our greatest betrayals become our most powerful transformations, teaching us that self-worth blooms brightest when we nurture it ourselves with unwavering courage and grace.